What's it like being so nicely done, babe?
Just I just like being nice to my special guy, that's all.
Okay, now I'm gonna lay down a truth bomb on you. I don't think you're ready to hear this. Frankly, I don't think the world is ready to hear this. Not just my subscribers, boys, girls, ladies, and gents. This truth bomb, this atomic truth bomb I'm about to drop on you is gonna blow your fucking mind, okay? It's gonna blow your mind harder than Hiroshima and Nagasaki were blown to bits together. I'm talking, this is bigger than the Hindenburg. This is bigger than the bombing of Dresden, RIP. This is bigger than what's going on and what's about to go on in Gaza. Hear me now, quote me later. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gents. Boys and gents. Boys and gents? The boys are a part of the gents. Okay, anyway. If you are male, you cannot be transgender. Now, what do I mean by this? I'm not referring to transgender women whose sex happens to be male. Those are what we call failed males, which are by far the most fuckable thing on the planet. That is not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about you spiritual males out there. I'm talking about you transgender men, or what's sometimes known as F to M's. Now, critically, in the past, I would support F to M's specifically because when they first start taking testosterone, they get extremely horny, but they still look like a woman, so you can still perceive them as a woman, but now they're just really horny. However, given the fact that I have literally zero interest in people who aren't my wife, there's not really a reason for me to critically support this group of people anymore. Like, I can kind of just view this group of people as bad. Not to say that I do. I don't actually care very much about... Honestly, I don't actually care very much that these people are out there. Like, if you want to do whatever you want to do, like, that's fine. You're not hurting anybody. I think I just wanted to come on here and just act with a bunch of bravado and say, this is the most important thing you've ever heard about gender. I mean, this is the thing that I've been doing on this channel constantly, right? For ages. I just come on here and then act like I have a really strong opinion about something that I don't actually care about, that I am just doing a thought experiment on. Now, what I just started to do is an example of that. This is kind of the problem with this channel, because I have a lot of videos that do precisely the thing that I just started to do without really there being a point to it besides, oh, hey, isn't it interesting to kind of look at this concept? There's not a point otherwise. And I think it gives this false impression to the audience that I'm actually changing my opinion constantly, and my views on things are constantly in flux, and I'm terminally unreliable as it pertains to what I believe, who I am. That the only thing you can really rely on is the idea that I'm unreliable. It's difficult for people to ascertain where I stand on things, and I think from the outside looking in that makes a lot of sense, because if you're a casual viewer of my channel, I keep getting annoyed by seeing the reflection of myself in my pupils through my glasses. Having big glasses is weird, dude. Anyway, I think from the outside looking in, this makes a lot of sense, because if you don't go through literally every video and develop like a labyrinthine sense of my channel or something, like having every single thing mapped out, like, it would make sense that you wouldn't really know where I was standing on things. Even for people who've seen a lot of the videos, I can understand why they wouldn't know where I necessarily stand on things. Because, like, if you're autistic, for example, or just not paying super close attention, and I'm, like, constantly darting around the map, you can, like, listen to a bunch of videos in the background and still not quite get where I stand on things. So I feel like that this is kind of my fault, right? Like, this is kind of a monster of my own making. And for the longest time, I have treated this like it's everybody else's fault for not understanding me, and not like it's my own for being archaic and strange and making myself deliberately open to being misconstrued. Like I've set the sights on me by making some of the decisions with the rhetoric and with the topics. Like either you want to deliberately confuse people or you want to be understood. You can't play both sides. You can't have your cake and eat it too. But that's what I tried to do for the longest time. I would, on the one hand, constantly say that I wanted to be understood and that it was everyone else's fault for not understanding me when I would make myself hard to understand, right? And then also, of course, be doing this thing where I made myself hard to understand. So, what's the solution for this? Well, as far as political topics are concerned, I think the solution for this would literally just be one single large video where I go through every single opinion I've ever had on a wide array of topics. And when it comes to the topics that I have actually changed my opinion on, I could point those out. And when it comes to the topics that I've had a consistent opinion on the entire time, I could point those out, which is most of them. And I think this would dispel the kind of illusion that people have about me that they've crafted through my persona on the internet, that I am this extremely inconsistent, unreliable guy who doesn't believe anything. Impressionable guy who just hears things in a lecture or from someone else and then changes their opinion like that at the drop of a hat. I do not do that. As open-minded as I am, I literally do not do that. But that's the image that people have of me, because I'll go through a phase where I'm reading certain things, watching certain things, listening, and I'll do videos talking about those ideas that I've been exploring, and people will get the sense that I've organically moved to those positions, when that is not in fact what has happened. And so, I'm having a real hoot and a holler of a video over here talking about all of this, but I think what I really should be doing, like in an ideal scenario, is sitting down and just belting out every single opinion I have and have had in like a succinct list, like a listicle type video. I don't know, like top 100 opinions I have or some nonsense like that. Something I could easily timestamp. Put that out there, have people listen to it, and then they would know that, okay, I'm not crazy, I'm not super inconsistent. There's actually like a basic ethical framework that I've been following this whole time, and that there are certain opinions I've basically always had. And again, that isn't to say that growth and change and being open aren't good things. They are. But I think that many of the commenters have correctly recognized that having some measure of consistency is also important. And so I think when I do the thought experiments, I should make it more clear that that's what I'm doing, because that has been something I've done so many times for years now, and people haven't seemed to be able to figure that out because I haven't made it clear enough from the outset. I also think that there should be, again, this like catalog that you could go to that had all of the Osaka lore, for lack of a better word, with respect to my opinions on these various topics. So that's the idea that's in the works right now. I'm going to do that at some point. What do you think? Oh yeah, just to be really honest with you, the other reason why I have not made it clear in a lot of these videos where I express outrageous and crazy opinions is because at the time I authentically wanted to offend people. It just happened to be passers-by on the channel, the normies, the not in crowd, the people who haven't been with me all this time. What I did not expect to happen with those videos was to confuse the authentic and die-hard loyal subscribers of my channel. I didn't expect to do that. I didn't expect to kind of alienate some of those folks. And so, in the process of trying to put up all these harsh pleb filters, I actually ended up creating blowback from the people who've been putting bread on the table, metaphorically speaking. They would never give me money the entire time. So, I want to fix that. I want to rectify that if I can. Okay, actually buy now.